I mean, it's been an active end to our show a little bit when we've got the latest updates from the National Hurricane Center in regards to both of our Eastern Pacific storms. Now, we don't have anything named in the Atlantic, but we are getting closer and closer to peak hurricane season, although we really already are in it. Maybe not the exact date of September 10th, but we're going through it right now.
September has spit out some very intense, destructive hurricanes, right? So you never want to sit on the month of September, always kind of checking both shoulders, so to speak. So September 10th, the climatological peak, we're 7 days away from that. And when you look at the forecast over the next 7 days, I think it's okay to say it's coming into focus, and more than likely we're going to have a tropical cyclone to monitor. And we already have that area to watch, as Haley mentioned. There it is right there on the far eastern side of the Atlantic, so it is still thousands of miles away. We're really watching just that area of disturbed weather, so to speak, that jumped off of the African coast, but with a high chance of development as we look forward in the next 7 days. But let's talk dates for a moment, because yes, we are inching closer to September 10th, but even September 3rd is a notable date for the month of September. September 3rd, which is today, is typically when we get our G-named storm. So when you consider, okay, we have an area to watch, it has a high chance of getting a name, which it would have to be a tropical storm to get a name, not a depression, well, then more than likely we're going to have our G-named storm very soon. And it would be within the range of September 3rd. So I'd say for the most part, we're kind of right on cue. When you take a look at the updates from the National Hurricane Center that came in at the top of the 11 a.m. hour Eastern time, really not much has changed. That's our area to watch. You can see that big area of high pressure to the north of it, which is acting to help steer its movement. And we'll talk about how steering comes in later. This is a look at the chance of development. Next 2 days, we're not expecting much at all.
Right. It's going to be a very slow burn with this storm. I mean, hardly any kind of movement here. It's in the ITCZ right now, so it's just encapsulated with a lot of moisture in that just general flow. But there is a lot of dust to the north of it, so that is something that's kind of interacting with this. Brian Norcross has said this a few times in his updates to us. Nothing is going to happen fast. It's all just going to be this wait-and-see game, almost getting you antsy of like, okay, let's get to the point now. But we have to be patient, especially with this forecast and the uncertainty that comes with it.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I like to flip to the end to see how it ends. I'm really impatient. And when it comes to monitoring the tropics, when you're out of, this part of the tropical Atlantic, it just is, it's a long hurry up and wait, much like it was with Hurricane Erin. So at least for the Cabo Verde Islands, which were impacted by Erin before it was even an invest, this one's much further to the south. And it's hard to kind of distinguish it in that mess of storms in the ITCZ, but it is expected to be able to close off, to organize. And then the question is, how fast is it moving? How slow is it moving? How strong is it able to get? Both will influence where it ultimately goes as it heads west.
If you're in the Lesser Antilles, it does trend a little bit further, I would say, to a weaker storm moving further west as opposed to a recurve north. The strength of this, still a big question, and, it would be a weaker storm if it did travel closer to the Lesser Antilles, so that's at least something. But, one thing that was interesting, I was talking about this with Britta yesterday, if you were in the Lesser Antilles and you were impacted by Erin, you didn't really like your prep plans, or you thought, okay, I need to revisit this. This is a good time to, take into account, do a recap of what you liked and disliked in regards to how you prepped or thought about Erin.
It was a good practice run.
Exactly.
I mean, you still had to monitor the heavy rain that came into the U.S. Virgin Islands, but we all know it could have been worse, right? So we're monitoring where it will go. Tropical threat probability is quite low when you look at a 20 to 30%, maybe that 30% chance right there, but still quite low in terms of this area to watch of where it would become a depression. And noticing the models, if I play it out real quickly before we move on, they are quite scattered, and there's a lot of disagreement and uncertainty where this would be a week from